We've all heard the phrase, you snooze, you lose. Well, here's the thing. There's always a point where guys start getting a lot of results in terms of getting numbers, whether they're finally getting consistent numbers from text and Tinder, and they're also going out and meeting girls and getting their numbers, but they're not able to translate that to going on the date. Lots of numbers, but no dates yet. And that's kind of an intermediate thing. And today I'm gonna address that and help you guys decide when to ask her out on the date, because most guys end up doing this. They wait and they wait and they wait, and then they miss their chance. And this wall sucks because once you hit it, you don't really know how to go beyond it. And you just kind of wait and do your thing and keep talking. And eventually her interest just diminishes. And before you know it, she's not responding back, or she's just totally telling you, hey, I'm not interested in meeting up. And you're thinking to yourself, where did I fuck up? Where did I make my mistake? Well, the truth is, it wasn't your conversation that was wrong at all. In fact, you were doing totally fine. The problem was, again, you waited too long. You missed the boat. One of my mentors used to say that you have a window of opportunity. And when that window closes, it's closed. There's no reopening it. So when that window is open, you need to dive through. Now, on the surface level, the problem is really simple, right? It's, well, you waited too long. But if we dig deeper than that, if we look at what's causing that, we can find that that is a symptom of a disease. And let's examine what that is. It all comes down to mindset. When you're having a conversation with a girl over text, what is your mindset? Think about it. Really think about what is your goal here. Is your goal to get to know her? Is it to really become friendly with her? Is it to build a lot of trust with each other? If that is your goal, if that is your mindset, then you're working towards a goal of becoming good friends with her. Because what do friends do? Friends make conversation and they talk and they get to know each other and they share experiences. If you're looking to find a life partner or even just fun for the weekend, you're gonna have to change your mindset. Your mindset should not be, hey, my goal here is to talk with this girl and get to know her. And once she feels comfortable, maybe I'll ask her out. It should be, hey, my goal is this. Get her on the date as soon as possible. Now, I know that kind of sounds like it's coming from a needy place, but frankly, it's not. The truth is that you can only get to know someone in person. Over text, it's way too impersonal. You can't get your personality across really at all, just a fragment of it. When you're talking to her and you have your mindset that your only goal is to meet up with her as soon as possible, it's going to change how you communicate. It's going to change when you ask her out. When you're talking to her and your goal is to get her to meet up, when your goal is to meet up as soon as possible, everything you do and everything you say should be related to that one singular focus. Your goal is not to have an amazing conversation. It's not to get to know her at a super deep level. It's not to get a girlfriend. And you might be asking, well, why? Isn't all that stuff really good and really important? Yes, of course, but only in person. When you're talking to someone online, you're not talking to them. You're talking to a simulacra of them, if even that. You're talking to a narrow slice of what they want to actually project about themselves in that moment. You're not getting to know them. Here's another way to think about it. In an entire year of talking to someone every single day for an hour, you're gonna know them less than meeting someone and talking to them for an hour in person. Because we betray ourselves in person. We project who we are. You can actually get to know someone. It's not simulated. So that's why it's so important to meet them. Because if you want to have a relationship, whether it's a long-term thing or a short-term thing, if you want to actually get to know her and you want to bond and you want to have real emotions, which these are all amazing things and you should want them, at least in my opinion, you're only gonna get that from an in-person exchange, from meeting them up. So when you're talking on Tinder or online dating or texting, your goal is to get them in person so you can actually get to know them. That's what it's about. It's not about being desperate. It's not about trying to get them as soon as possible. It comes down to a simple thing. Hey, I want to get to know you. Not your phone, okay? Not your profile, not this fake version of yourself that you put out, that I put out, that everyone puts out in the world online. You want to get to know the person. So with that goal in mind, things won't happen like waiting too long to ask her out and making boring conversation, because your goal is singular. It's to meet up and get to know this human being as a human being. Now, if your goal isn't to meet up as soon as possible, isn't to get her on the date, and you're just having conversation, there's gonna be a lot of symptoms that come out of that. One, like we already discussed, is waiting too long to ask her out. But also there's a slew of other things, like for example, not being risky enough in your conversation, and sometimes even being too risky, because sometimes we mistake that when we're talking to someone on text that they'll understand the subtext or the irony or whatever the tone is, they're not going to get it. So these things start affecting your conversation when really they shouldn't be. If you're just having a conversation in person, she's going to understand everything that you're putting out there. On text and on Tinder, it's not going to happen. So you have to change your mindset. Now I want to illustrate this concept with a real Tinder conversation from a guy named David. So we'll jump in right now. Ha ha ha. Who else is in love with me? I saw that and automatically I thought it was you. Well, let's be honest here. I'm the only one that's pulled out a ring and asked you out. True. Thinking of getting a pizza. What should I get on it? Pineapple. Too late. Got large. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I'm hungry as fuck. Oh, yum. So notice that David did a really good job getting her invested, getting her excited. She's excited about pizza. She's engaged in the conversation. He's kind of made this path to do what? Ask her out to get the fucking pizza with pineapple, right? But unfortunately, his mindset is in the wrong place. Instead of thinking about how do I get her out as soon as possible and using this as the justification to do so, instead he's trapped in that old mindset of just having conversation. And what will that do? Most likely get you friend zoned. So what he did after that, I have the conversation here, was the worst thing he could possibly do. Remember, he's only one message away from meeting up with this girl and having an amazing weekend and maybe even a lifetime together. And instead he says this: oh, I saw you're a drug dealer at Drug Mart. How's that going? Yeah. Haha, that wasn't really a yes or no question. Lol, oops, it's going good. So as you can see, he missed his chance. There was a window of opportunity there where she was really into it, really excited, and it slammed shut as soon as he went off in a tangent. She was expecting for him to ask him out, and unfortunately, he didn't do that. He just changed the conversation to something boring, basically a variation of, hey, how's it going? Or what's new? Or what's up? And that just kills the momentum. Now remember, this is an excerpt from a longer conversation. And of course, saying how's it going or asking hey or any of that stuff isn't inherently bad. But in the context of this conversation, where she was expecting to be asked out, at the very least, even if she wasn't, he could have used that opportunity to ask her out. If he had the right mindset, he let it slip. Let's recap. Your goal is to get her out on a date. It's not to chat. Friends do chatting. You're not there to chat. You're not there to make friends. Now, of course, friends might come out of it and you might meet girls there that you're not really attracted to, but turns out they're really cool and you become friends. But if you're talking with a girl with the intention of at some point dating them or bringing them out for some casual fun, you have to change your mindset. It's always better to ask her out too early than too late, because if it's too early, at least you're showing her that you're interested. But if you do it too late, it's too late. There's no recovering. Or if there is, it's a lot harder than asking out a little bit too early. Changing the topic, because here's the thing. I know you guys are asking, well, how do I do that? What happens if I ask her out too early? Very simple. You ask her out too early. You can tell she's not really into it because she doesn't give you an enthusiastic, yeah, let's meet up. Or she kind of changes the question, or she gives a vague answer, or she says, yeah, maybe sometime in the future. All you got to do there is change topics. Kind of what he did. Just change topics, move the conversation forward, talk about new things, and once you get to a point where you think that she'd be open to it again, go ahead and ask in a different way and you should be just fine. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe to get more videos like this in the future. And by the way, if you'd like to submit your own text or Tinder or OkCupid or whatever conversation for us to break down in a video just like this, go ahead and do that. You can click the link below or send it to us at support@zerbiapp.com. We get a lot of submissions. We'll try our best to get to yours. It's easier if you send the entire conversation A to Z. Don't worry, we'll censor everything out. And hopefully we'll get to you soon. All right, guys, that's it. Talk to you next time.